Morning in progress.
This is Mary Jo Heinz. In this video, I'm going to go over what I call savvy sourcing. This is your time to review your prescription drug plans. This is basically for people who have a supplement and have added on a standalone prescription drug plan. It's important to review these plans annually, but you want to be a savvy sourcer. So how do you do this? This is the process that I have gone through with all of my clients upon their initial enrollment. And we want to plug in all of our medications to Medicare.gov, and then we're looking for the lowest total cost, and that would be premium plus copays. So we're going to go over to Medicare.gov. This is what the screen looks like in October of 2024. Of course, websites can change, but we're going to do find health and drug plans, and we're going to look at 2025, the new year. You type in your zip code. In Colorado, the same plans are available everywhere in every county, but that's not true in every state of the union. We're going to look at just standalone prescription drug plans. On Medicare Advantage, I don't find that the medications are as important as the network of doctors. So this is primarily used for folks who have a standalone prescription drug plan and generally a Plan G supplement. It asks if you get help from any other source like extra help, also known as LIS, or if you're on Medicaid. In this example, we're going to say that we don't have any other additional pharmacy help. Do we want to see the drug costs when we compare plan? Yes, sir, Bob. That's why we're doing this whole thing. Okay, so we're going to enter in some drugs, and I've already entered some drugs, and I'm just going to add to this list. Atorvastatin, it's on every formulary in the world. Here we've got a drug that we only fill that prescription every other month, so there's that frequency column that we'll see. And now I'm going to add two more drugs here. The first is really important on levothyroxine. And levothyroxine, where are you? Levothyroxine sodium. I'm going to add that drug. And if you do the pull down list, you'll notice that there are capsules and there are tablets. It's crucial that you say tablet. Okay, capsules just aren't on Medicare formularies. So if you type in capsule or if you choose capsule, it's going to mess up this whole matching process. What we're trying to do is we put in our medication list, our known medications, and let the tool look at all these formularies and match the best plan to our specific medications. So for the sake of this example, we're going to use 135 in terms of milligrams. We're actually going to do every month instead of every 3 months. And this is taken daily, so it's 30 per month. The next drug that I'm going to add is just to show you that it's important to look at the whole list that comes up, okay? Because there can be multiple medications. So on this one, and I'm trying to get a certain result. Here we go. So we typed in a few more letters and we got more choices, okay? So in this example, we're going to use this medication, not just this one. So if this is a combination drug, so you've got a certain dose of one medication and then a certain dose of another medication. So make sure you're choosing the right one. And what we just learned here is you might want to type more than 3 letters to get more choices. Okay, we're adding the drug, and now you'll see that there's our combinations. You want to make sure that you are matching what's on your prescription drug bottle. And this is a 40-1100. And once again, I'm going to go back to an every month model, and this is taken once a day, so it's 30 per month. Okay, so now we have a list of about 5 drugs, and we're going to let Medicare.gov do what I just described, and we're going to have the background tool look at all 14 formularies that are available to us for 2025 and see what's right. Now, on choosing pharmacies, I recommend that you choose only mail order. If you choose one specific pharmacy, and it's got some funky pharmacies here, if I choose this pharmacy, it's really going to skew my choices because it's thinking, oh, she really has to go to this pharmacy. Well, most people are pretty pharmacy generic, and you want to pharmacy agnostic. Okay, so I'm not tied to Walgreens, especially if you put in Walgreens. Frankly, it's going to skew you towards certain plans, and I think it's better to see all of the plans. And then, if I have to go to Safeway instead of Walgreens, so be it. So just choose mail order pharmacy. And then it starts this matching process, loading, loading, loading. What we're looking for and what's going to come up is the lowest drug and premium cost. That's what we want to be looking at. So here comes the shocker, and this is where we're going to talk about savvy sourcing, okay? 17 grand. My goodness. Okay, we don't want to look at just premiums. We don't want to look at just deductibles, but how did we get to $17,000, okay? Then you click on plan details. So we've done number one, now we're going to number two. If you find some medications that have high copays on the plan, that is the best match. You may want to look at alternate sources for that medication. So that's what we're doing right now. We're going to look at the plan details and going, how did we get to $17,000? We're going to look at drug coverage. Here's our list of medications. Always good to review that. Pharmacies, we're just looking kind of at all pharmacies. And here we see our prices. Okay, here's our outlier. Okay, this isn't on the formulary, but remember, this plan is the best plan of all the Medicare formularies. So this tells me that this drug is not on any Medicare standalone prescription drug plan formulary. So we're going to have to look for an alternate source because this is an annual cost that is just ridiculous. Okay, so then we go to these other sources: GoodRx, Cost Plus, Save on RX, Single Source. There's so many out there now. Canadian drug sources, I don't use those as much as I did 5 years ago because we're finding pretty competitive prices through some of these other coupon sources. So we're going to go over to GoodRx first, and we're going to type in that medication. Here it is, and see what the prices are. Okay, $34 a month at Safeway. Now, Walgreens is kind of ridiculous here, so we're not going to use that. If you see something that says special offers, that's usually a one-time deal. When it doesn't say a special offer, you can generally you can count on that price every month at Safeway, and you'll see that we've got other ones there as well. So we're good there. Then we go over to, this is Cost Plus, and we're going to look at all their medications here. Sometimes they don't have all the medications, just so you're seeing. But on this one, it's coming up for $14. But wait, the dose is wrong. Okay, we want to go over here to 40 and 1100. Okay, so if we go to 40 and 1100, our cost is $14.60 per month, which is far better than that $17,000 per year, and it even beats GoodRx. Okay, so and then it talks to you about how you get started on all this and can use the process. Now, I happen to know that this is not on Save on RX. So sometimes it will error out if you put in a drug that isn't on their formulary. So, and that's what's happened here. But if we just type in just the first part of this medication, we do find it. So sometimes you don't find medications on all of these alternate sources, savvy sources. And we're not even going to try the Canadian pharmacy because we found a really good solution here at $14.60 a month through Cost Plus. Okay, so now our next step is if there are significant savings, and yes, indeed, going from $17,000 a year to $14 a month is a significant savings. We're going back to Medicare.gov and we're going to take off that medication and rerun the process. So we had 5 medications, we're going to go down to 4, and we're going to see what the best Medicare standalone prescription drug plan is for those 4. And we know that we're going to use cost plus for that one medication. We're going to be a savvy sourcer for that medication that's not on any Medicare formulary. Okay, so we're going back to where we were and back to search results. We're going to go back to drugs in a moment. Really easy to just remove that drug. Done adding drugs. If you wanted to add Walgreens or Safeway now, you could do that. I recommend not doing that. And now it's matching the 14 plans. It's looking at the 14 plans versus 4 drugs now instead of 5. And we're going to find out what the best plan for 2025 is for your 4 medications. Lowest drug and premium cost. It's once again coming up with the WellCare Value Script plan, but it's gone from $17,800 to $50 for the year. So huge, huge savings, of course. So it goes up from there. It shows you other plans that are available, but total drug and premium cost here is $230. I think $50 is better than $230, and it just goes up from there. Okay, so we want to make sure that we've got our filter set on lowest drug and premium cost. We are not concerned about premium dollars, and we aren't really concerned about deductibles either. We're looking at total drug and premium cost. That's the plan that you want to enroll in. Click the enroll process, and you have to have your Medicare number. It's going to ask you about, it knows that it's annual enrollment period, and so it's going to enroll you for a January 1st start date. So there we are. So this is how you become a savvy sourcer. We're having to do this because the Inflation Reduction Act has caused the insurance companies to make some changes. And one of those changes is that half of the plans for Colorado in 2025 are not paying agents to do what we just did. So that's the reason for this video. Now, I do have a little disclaimer on this process. There is something else that the Inflation Reduction Act has brought into play for 2025, and it's called the Medicare Prescription Payment Plan, also known as MP3. Consumers have an option to contact their insurance company, not their pharmacy, not their doctor, but their insurance company to set up a payment plan. Okay? Another element here is that the maximum out-of-pocket for 2025 is $2,000. Okay, so let's just say I was on Eliquis. Eliquis is a really good example. It's well known and prescribed frequently. Eliquis costs about $550 a month. So we're talking over $6,000 for the year, but there's that $2,000 cap. But $2,000 is still a chunk of change. And Eliquis is going to be on a tier where you're going to be subject to the deductible. So January is going to look really tough for some people on Eliquis. They're going to have to hit their $500, they're going to have to pay out their $590 deductible or close to it just for Eliquis. So that's a chunk of change. Someone who does not have that money may say, okay, I'd rather even out my costs, which will total $2,000 for the year. I'm going to contact my insurance company, whether that's WellCare for a standalone prescription drug plan, or a United Healthcare Medicare Advantage plan. I'm going to contact my insurance carrier and say, I want to enroll in the Medicare prescription payment plan. And they'll say, okay. And when you fill your first prescription, they'll know that the pharmacy there's going to be a lot of interplay between the insurance companies and the pharmacies now. The pharmacy is going to know you're on this payment plan that's evening out your $2,000 to about $167 per month. $2,000 divided by 12 months for Eliquist in this example. And when you go to the pharmacy, you're not going to pay anything. They're going to see, oh, you're on an MP3 plan, and so we don't collect any money. Your insurance company is going to start billing you for this medication. Okay. This is a brand new program. Okay, it is so complex. I'm just hitting the highlights here because if you add another drug in March, then the whole payment plan changes. Or maybe you don't have Eliquis, but you have something that's not quite as expensive. Anyway, it's really complex, and I think it's going to be very problematic, especially this first year. Another element is that you cannot purchase some of your medications using what we just talked about and be on the prescription payment plan. That's what we're hearing in October of 2024. Because when you go to the pharmacy, you can't say, oh, on this drug, don't run it through my plan, use cost plus. They're going to say, you're on a payment plan. We're not collecting anything. You can't choose how you pay for one medication versus another, which what the example that we just used, we can say, run this through my prescription drug plan, or no, use my cost plus coupon for this. If you're on the payment plan, you don't have that option. So my advice is to plan for that deductible. If you have a tier 3, 4, 5 drug, just suck it up, save your money, don't pay for that deductible, pay for them at the pharmacy, utilize the savvy sourcing strategy for some medications, and don't participate in the MP3, the Medicare prescription payment plan. Hope this has been helpful, and happy prescription drug plan shopping.